Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Let me introduce myself. My name is Iskandar Satria Permana. You can call me Satria. I live in Brebes, Central Java. I am from Management 2C Faculty of Economics, Sultan Agung Islamic University. And the purpose I'm talking today is to analyze the journal about the role of employee competencies in human resource development practices or HRD and organizational performance. The journal I will analyze is entitled Influence of Human Resource Development or HRD Practices on Hotel Industry's Performance, the Role of Employee Competencies. The author of the journal is Frank Nana Kweku Otto and Mridula Misra, and the name of the journal is European Journal of Training and Development. Abstract from the journal include purpose. The purpose of this paper is to examine a mediating role of employee competencies in the association between human resource development or HRD practices and organizational performance. Design or methodology or approach. An integrated research model was developed by combining principal factors from existing literature. Data were collected through the questionnaire from 600 employees of the selected hotels. The validity of the model and hypothesis was tested using structural equation modeling. The reliability and validity of the dimension are established through confirmatory factor analysis. Finding: the results indicate that some HRD practices impact organizational performance through their influence or employee competencies. Research limitation or implication. Research limitation or implication of the research was undertaken in the hotel industry, and the analysis based on cross-sectional data which cannot be generalized across a broader range of sectors. Practical implication. The findings of the study have the potential to help stakeholders and management of hotels in adopting properly and well-articulated HRD practices to stimulate positive behavior in individuals and impact their knowledge, skill, and attitudes. Originality or value. This study extends the literature by adducing evidence that employee competencies mediated the association between HRD practices and organizational performance of the hotel industry in Ghana. Background of the journal. According to Rao, in 1987, human resource development or HRD intend towards advancing a diversity of competence of workers and promoting a vigorous work philosophy in the organization to harness the competencies of employees and inordinately enhance organization effectiveness. According to Delahaye and Stacy in 2003, HRD has progressively developed importance considering the fact that the conventional management supposition that there existed only two essential assets, money and time, is absolutely not legitimate given that knowledge has developed into an unfailingly practice resource. Ford et al. In 2012 say that such resource take on special relevance when dealing with labor-intensive service industries, especially the hospitality industry, where the accomplishment of the business is contingent predominantly on the success of the synergy among the guest and the employee. Clardy in 2008 and Nelson and Elstrom in 2012 said about establishing a competitive edge via people necessitates conscientious thought to processes that perfectly influence their results. HRD practices are more exact than policies. They are programs planned and put into action to enhance employee competencies for employees to function efficiently and attain performance expectations. Dittmer in 2002 argued that the hotel industry represents a key segment of the hospitality industry. Several other authors such as Ernst in 2009, Lakier in 2007, and Paulson in 2008 deliberates that the hotel industry is a people industry. Boyatzis in 1982 posited that competencies are the underlying characteristic of a person that could be a motive, trait and skill, aspect on one's self-image or social role, or a body of knowledge which he or she uses. Literature review and hypothesis development are as follows, which will be explained. Human resource development practices. Human resource development practices, according to Warner and Desimon in 2006, posited that HRD practices are programs which are designed to be strategically oriented to organizational process for managing the development of human resources to contribute to the overall success of the organization. Therefore, for the purpose of this study, the following HRD practices are examined: training and development, career development, and performance appraisal. Employee competencies. According to Levinson et al. In 2006, competency is an important concept in organization management, as it is closely related to excellent work performance. Trachanitis and Mensas in 2006 concur with this definition when they refer to competency as a combination of tacit and explicit knowledge, behavior, and skills that give us someone the potential for effectiveness in text performance. Helriegel and Slocum in 2011 identified employees' ethical competency, self-competency, diversity competency, cross-country competency, team competency, and change competency as the 7 key competencies that affect the behavior of individuals, team, and effectiveness of an organization. Accordingly, the following competencies are examined: self-competency, team competency, change competency, communication competency, and ethical competency. Organizational performance. The variables used in this study were assessed using multiple items from different studies in the extant literature. All the items were measured using a 5-point Likert type scale, where the respondents had to indicate their level of conformity with the different statements. Human resource development. Contribution to organization performance. Alagoreja et al. In 2015 identified 5 important approaches in examining the HRD, organizational performance and effectiveness linkage, best fit model, best fit approach, best practices model, combination of best fit approach and best practice model, and stakeholders perception based approach. Human resource development practices and employee competencies. Haslinda in 2009 postulated that HRD practices improve employees' capabilities on the job, productivity and efficiency, as well as enhance the quality of goods and service. Training, development, and employee competencies. According to Chang et al. In 2011, the significance of training and development in the enhancement of employee competencies and organizational development has been espoused by several authors. They are also consistent with the result of the other authors who found that organizational effort in training and development are an investment in assets rather than an expense. Training and development has a significant influence on employee competencies. Training and development also improve the expertise and competence of employees, which sequentially boost their efficiency and performance. Career and development and employee competencies. Chile et al. In 2009 argued that career development intervention assists in building a partnership between the organization and its employees and raising their knowledge, skill, and abilities by improving individual competencies. Performance appraisal and employee competencies. Mason and Barrett in 2006 deliberated that managing performance of human resources constitutes an essential fragment of a firm and manifests how their human capital is being managed. Employee competencies and organizational performance. According to Milosevic et al. In 2007, revealed that employee competence is a collection of skills, nationality, profiles, and personal qualities and experience. The results of the discussion include empirical result, theoretical implication, and managerial implication. Empirical result. The result of confirmed each one so the training and development have to influence on employee competencies. Theoretical implication. This study supports the assumption in the literature on the subject of employee competency improvement suggested by Levinson and Palan in 2005. The finding of this study teaches the recommendation of the further investigating HRD practices and organizational performance in the premise of investing in HRD practices, an important strategic mechanism that stimulate positive individual behavior impacting knowledge and skill and attitude that lead to increased productivity. Managerial implication. The result of this study led to considering a series of implications for the hotel industry. Recommend for policymakers, stakeholders, and hotel management to encourage the adoption of well-articulated and appropriate HRD practices in the hospitality industry. Research findings indicate that HRD practices in affects employee competence through training and development, intervention, and career development intervention. The result of the further research revealed that significant employee competence continuously influences organizational performance. Furthermore, the study suggests that HRD practices should be carried out in such a way that employees function effectively and meet performance expectations through increasing personal competence, which leads to increased organizational performance. Limitation and suggestion for future study. There are certain limitations that offer important avenues for future research. Data were collected using a cross-sectional research design. However, the adoption of a longitudinal research design would have assisted in testing the causal relationship among variables. Moreover, quantitative research design was used in analyzing data collected through structured questionnaires. Proven qualitative data are encouraged in future studies. Another limitation is the generalizability of the study. The result of the study cannot be generalized because they come from a sample of hotels in a specific context. We should also be careful when applying the result obtained to other sectors, given the specific characteristics of the hotel industry. Future research is encouraged to examine the possible mediating effect of employee performance on organizational performance using distinct HRD practices. Okay, thanks all from me. I apologize if there is an incorrect pronunciation. Thank you. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.